Hey everyone, I missed last week's topic, so I'm going to do last week's topic and this topic both in the same video. So last week's topic was diet and exercise. I've been trying to work out now as much as possible. I got a new workout buddy, and we went and we worked out yesterday, and we're going to try to get on a routine now, and get memberships to the YMCA here, so we can go regularly. And I'm really lazy though, so I don't exercise as much as I should, but I'm going to start now, especially having somebody to go with. It makes it a lot easier, and especially going to a gym. And I was talking to them a couple days ago, because they have a male change room and a female change room and a family change room, but you can only go into the family change room if you have kids, except that they had a fire and their pool is shut down, so the family change room isn't being used as much. So they told me that I can use that change room for now, but until they talk to their director, they don't really have an answer for me of what to do. So I'm just going now. Like, I go now, and I'll wear my workout clothes there, and then I'll leave from there and go home and shower and change, which isn't too much of a big deal unless like I'm in a rush to get somewhere. But I mean, working on getting gender neutral washrooms is pretty hard. When it comes to diet, I eat really healthy as much as I can. I eat a lot of vegetables and a lot of I don't eat much junk food. I'm kind of too broke to go out and eat too much. The worst thing I eat, really, well, I drink a lot of lattes and mochas and stuff, which is really not that healthy for you. It's a lot of sugar. I try to balance out my meals, and I don't worry too much about it, but I don't really like sweets that much anyways, and I don't like junk food too much, so I stay away from it. So yeah, my eating habits are pretty good, and my exercise habits, I'm getting on them now that I have somebody to go to the gym with that I'm comfortable with. It's going to be a lot easier. I had problems with my knees and my hips though, so like, I do as much as I can with my lower body, then I'll switch it up and I'll do my upper body. But usually I'll do my upper body every day, or like 5-6 times a week when I used to exercise a lot. I do a lot of upper body because my legs are pretty muscular already, and trying to get into cardio, because I do have asthma, but I have it under control and I don't take my puffer very often. And I quit smoking a long time ago, so that's okay. So that's helped a lot. And I don't drink pop or soda, anything like that. And I don't even drink alcohol or beer very often. Very few and far between. Like, if I'm gonna drink pop, it's usually just like ginger ale every now and then, and a couple beers here and there, but that's probably like once every 2 or 3 months I'll sit down and have a few drinks. Now this week's topic is gender roles and stereotypes. For me, I identify as male. I find with a lot of us trans guys, we're so used to trying to pass as much as possible that we start falling into the gender stereotypes, and we start to try to be as macho as possible, but then that comes off as being sexist, and then you get into gender roles where people are afraid to say that they're a guy that knits or they're a guy that sews, because it's not masculine, and they're scared that if they do that, or if they're not muscular enough, they're not going to pass, and none of that matters. I mean, that's us playing into the gender stereotypes and the gender roles. I mean, pink, up until the 1920s, pink wasn't a male color, and they dressed little boys in pink and girls in blue, because blue was a dainty and delicate color, and pink was the color of a warrior and virtue, when blood got sprayed across you from killing an animal or killing somebody or something, and it turned to that pink color when it dried. So in the 20s it switched. So even going back into history, there have always been gender roles and gender stereotypes. For me, in the gender spectrum, I find that now I'm starting to pass almost 100% of the time. So I do fit on the male spectrum, and that's where I want to be. But I don't want to be a male that only does male things or male stereotypes. I hate when people say women have smaller feet because they have to stand behind the stove or the kitchen sink. That really bothers me, stuff like that. I mean, I've been working with a lot of community organizations, and lately they've been asking me to go through stuff, and I worked at Canadian Tire, which is a store for those who don't live in Canada. It's just like a hardware store and a car store, and typically male-dominated store. So when women were there, they'd be shoved off in the appliance section, go look at the blenders and microwaves, and the men would be like there in the sports section. And like, it was just crazy, the stereotypes. I mean, I knew a kid that came in, and I just jokingly asked him if he wanted pink laces for his skates instead of black. And his mom got really mad and was like, "You're not going to turn my son gay," and all this stuff. And I'm like, okay. And then the kid got really defensive for me, which was really funny. But something as little as shoelaces and a parent getting mad, or like, I love the picture that's been going around Tumblr and Facebook lately, saying, especially during Christmas time, it was going around, and saying that is this a boy toy or girl toy? And the next box was, which genitalia is it played with? And it was like, neither, so it's for a boy or a girl. I know personally, for me, when I was a kid and I was given dolls, my brother would play with them and not me. I mean, he'd go and take them out and play with them. So that was always interesting. And it was me that was under my dad's car fixing the oil, and not my brother. That's mainly because my brother's a year and a half younger than me, and my dad just had me doing everything with him. And but it's at the same time, my father thinks girls should have long hair and boys shouldn't wear nail polish. But that goes into gender expression, not gender identity. And then you have your umbrellas, and I mean, boys should be able to wear nail polish if they want, no matter what color it is. And I mean, you look back in the 70s, it was cool for men to have long hair, you know, like, and now it's like, no, boys should have short hair. But the shag is coming back in, and they say that gender stereotypes and gender, yes, men are stronger, but that doesn't mean a woman can't do a more masculine type job. I hated it when I was posing as a woman and people would be like, you can't do that because you're a different body type than a man and you're not strong enough to do it. And I would fight that tooth and nail, because I'd find a way to make my body work, or I'd find a way to be able to move something that a girl of my size and stature usually wouldn't be able to move. I'd find a way to do it. I mean, there's no way of telling me I can't do something, because I'll prove you wrong in every instant. Just like a lot of women would. So my family, it's just my father mainly that is that way. but I really don't like gender stereotypes. They've always pissed me off. And that's not just coming from the trans side of it, that's just growing up, like, and seeing other people and people pushing things on their kids, like, a boy shouldn't do ballet, and, like, little girls shouldn't play with G.I. Joes. G.I. Joes were action figures and not dolls. I mean, my brother got so mad if I called his G.I. Joes dolls and not action figures. Like, as a 5-year-old kid getting mad because you called it a doll instead of an action figure. I mean, that's society, and that's what we have to deal with every day. But it's an ongoing fight. Right now, here in Canada, they're putting LGBTQ works into education. So when you look at a math problem, it'll say a same-sex couple is going to the store, or something like that, rather than it always being a heterosexual couple going into the store. So there's progress being made. You see more and more women in trades than you ever did before, and that is amazing. I mean, although if you go to colleges now, humanity courses are mainly taken by women, or if a guy in high school is taking a home ec course, it's either assumed that he's gay or that he's just there to look at women. And some guys just like to take home ec courses. I mean, it's useful to know how to sew, and it's useful to know how to knit. And just because you sew or knit doesn't make you any less of a man. In my books, it makes you more of a man because you can do that. Like, it makes you more of a human being if you can rely on yourself and not rely on somebody else. Like, when I was in school, I did tech in grades 7 and 8, and I had to teach all the girls how to use, all the other girls how to use the machines, because they were afraid of the table saws and stuff, and my teachers would be like, what are you doing? And same with they always say that men are better at math and things. They are, to a point, because men's and women's brains do work differently. And that's not so much it is a stereotype, but not at the same time, because I was always better at math and sciences, but I was also good at English and other courses. So it's just, I just hate that if we see somebody in a certain area, we expect them to be a certain way, and we really do need to stop judging people on what they do, and like, just because a woman is a mechanic doesn't mean she's gay. Just like, if a man is taking that home ec course, it doesn't mean they're gay either. And we gotta start just accepting people for people and get out of this gender stereotype and the gender roles. Just, like, it's awesome to see more men staying at home with their kids nowadays than females, because that never happened 10 years ago. If a man stayed home with their kids, people were like, there's something wrong with you, and they look down on them. And now it's completely opposite. If a man stays home with their kids instead of going to work, it's like, oh my God, you're the best father in the world. And it went from one extreme to the other, and we gotta find this middle ground where it's fine for you to do whatever you do. Yeah. Anyways, that's my little rant on gender roles and stereotypes, and my thing for that. It's 1:30 a.m. here in Newfoundland, and whatnot, and it's my birthday, so I'm old, and I have nothing else to say because my memory is going. Have a good week, and happy Wednesday, I guess, if you watch this on Hump Day. But yeah, you can message me or inbox me if you want to talk more, I have a lot to say on this topic. So, yeah, anyways, good night, guys, if you're watching this night. Good day if you're watching in the morning. See y'all later.